Alright, so now you've got that sheet out in front of you, and what I want you to do is take your calculator, and remember, you can pause this if you need to. If I get ahead of you, you can rewind it and you can watch it again. So I'm not going to repeat the directions multiple times, but you can always go back and watch it again. Alright, so I'm going to go to the home screen. I'm going to press 1 for new document, and I'm going to add a graph page. And then I'm going to put in the function that we had for the revenue for the ticket price problem. And if you remember correctly, that was where we took the attendance, which was negative 100x, because every time we increased the price once, it went down 100, and plus 4,000, because 4,000 was our x-intercept. That's how many people would show up if we charged that $5. Okay? And then we're going to multiply that, the attendance times the ticket price, and the ticket price, remember, went up by 25 cents every time. That's why it's 0.25x. Plus 5, because it was $5 when we didn't increase or decrease it at all, which was our y-intercept. Okay, so put that one in, and right now you can't see it. But yesterday we did talk about looking at the table, and hopefully you remember and you did this and you look down on the table and you're like, all right, well, it's going up, it's going up here, it's going up, it's going up, and it's still going up, and then oh, it goes back down. So if you notice, it goes from at 10 increases to 22,500 all the way down to 11 at 22,475. And if you look at that, so the 22,500 is the maximum. Alright, but I want to talk about real quickly how to find that on your calculator without looking at the graph, especially because sometimes they're not nice, neat numbers, and also sometimes finding them on the graph is not the, or in the table is not the easiest. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Menu, Window Zoom, and then Out. And I just took the table off by hitting Control T first, so then that was Menu, Window Zoom Out, and I'm going to hit Enter until I see the lines pop up. And when I see them pop up, I see these what almost look like vertical lines, and I can keep zooming out and keep zooming out. And if you notice, I'm at 22 or 2,200, which isn't really even close to the maximum, because remember the maximum was at like 20 something. And if you look at this is really kind of hard to see. So let's go to Menu, Window Zoom, and then Settings. And let's put some settings together really quickly for our window so we can see it a little bit better. So let's go from -10, and if you remember, our maximum was at 10. If we didn't know, that's not a huge deal. Let's just go to like 20. Okay. And then we'll go down to the Y. Obviously, our Y is our revenue. We don't want the revenue to be less than $0. We don't want to pay people to come to the to the game. And then our highest one that we had on the table was 22,500. So let's go to like 30,000. Okay? And if we hit OK after that, then we'll have the graph here. And if you notice, this is a pretty wide parabola. All right, but it is a parabola. It's a quadratic graph. And we want to find this vertex up here. And if you remember, again, this is a maximum, all right, because it is opening down, right? So it's going to have the highest point that it can go. And to find that, you just go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and then Maximum. And kind of like when you're finding the intersections between two lines, you just need to click on the left side of it and on the right side of it. Now, whenever you get these numbers where it's like 2.25 e to the plus 4, right? Whenever you get something like that, you just want to right-click on that and then go to Attributes. And then you can change this, the precision, just by going up or down. So if we went, we change it to go up, and then it actually gives us the number of 22,500. So as you can see, that is the maximum for this graph. Okay. I'm going to try one more with you, just a random one. So I'm going to go to the home screen, I'm going to go to New Document, Not going to save that one, and I'm going to go and I'm going to add a graph. And I want you to put this one in right here. Let's put in x plus 2 times x minus 3. Now, you've got your graph here, and you can see that it's a parabola, and it popped up right on the screen, so we don't need to zoom or anything like that. But it's all here, and if you look at it, this time it's actually going to have a minimum though. Alright, so to calculate what that minimum is, we go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and in this case it's going to be minimum. We're going to click on the left, we're going to click on the right, and it's going to pop up right there with the minimum at 0.5 and negative 6.25. Alright, so that's how we find the maximum or minimum out for a graph.